What is on top of the deck? What is on top of the deck? Oh, it's Lightning Helix! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Welcome to Hunt the Week.
Hello everyone and welcome into the show. Welcome on in each and every one of you Moogles and Chocobos out there. Where are my fun little friends at, right? I want all my cute little Moogles riding my cute little Chocobos down a gumdrop lane into Midgar's forest, right? That's what I want to see. I want to see Vincent and Yuffie hanging out with a Moogle and a Chocobo in my deck. I think that'd be pretty fun. Hello, everyone, and welcome into Hunt the Week. This is your weekly Magic the Gathering podcast about the Sealed Arena Gauntlet League that you know, love, and play in. This is week 2 of Final Fantasy League. We're getting ready to talk about it. It's been a fun one so far. We got a lot of things to discuss. It's been a busy week, and we got a busy week coming up. Who am I? Well, I am your host with the most, your Don John DeMarco, your Goku or Go Home, the Pride of Mardu. I am a 5-time top 8er, a 2-time league winner, and 1 time I got to do the Mega Draft for Playground League, where I got knocked out in round 2. We'll talk about it a little bit as we go ahead and we defy destiny.
Perhaps 7 seconds till the end. Let us defy destiny.
That's right. We are Final Fantasy League Week 2. We got top 16 to go over right now. Currently 3 p.m. on Wednesday. Very exciting time to be in the league. This is your current top 16. Number 1, Christopher G. Oompa Loompa, 9-1. Chris D. Stereo Lab, 9-1. Travis C. Random Jobber, 8-0. Wow, congrats, Travis. Ryan M. Rern, 8-2. Emmett F. Sepultura, 8-2. Sawyer T. Soy Boy, 8-2. Vincent L. Tanathanos, 8-2. Adam S. Wisma, 7-1. Patrick K. Neo Falcon, 7-2. Enrique O. Cakes, 7-2. Jordan M. J. M. Tron, 7-3. Joseph E. Fui, 7-3. John P. Goku or Go Home, 7-3. Adam E. Adam End, 7-3. Wei C. Asayaka, 7-3. Ben P. Chuck No Blocks, 7-3. There's a lot more names to read when we're doing a top 16. And we do have some 5-0s on the week. Emmett F. Sepulture with the 5-0. Congrats, Emmett. Patrick K. Neo Falcon, currently 5-0 and still has a match to play. They could get the, rare 6-0 this week. John P. Goku or Go Home. Congrats, John. Gets the 5-0. Has a pretty dang good week. And then Angus M. Sangreen, 5-0. Those are your 5-0s on the week. So, how did I do? Well, you just know. You found out, you heard. I had a 5-0 week. It was good. I had Johnny on the show last week. Johnny came on. He was 5-0 last week. And you know what? I gleaned some information from him. He talked. Honestly, he said, I'm playing these corals, these tutus. I was like, I got a couple of those. Boom. Threw those things in the deck. 5-0. I'm not even kidding. But really, I was on like 3-color Esper. I've gone down to pretty straight blue-white with just a light black splash, 3 black gold cards, a Squall, and 2 Ultimecias. Deck's playing good. Deck's humming. 5-0 on the week. Deck feels great. There's lots of removal, lots of card draw. It's got some top end. I just kind of got to make sure that the big stuff doesn't get too big, and I can kind of do my thing. I didn't get to do any of the fun mechanic this week. I didn't lose it all. I guess I'm still catching up. So, I feel like I've already messed up a little bit because I've changed a common slot to an uncommon. I think I changed my common black slot to an uncommon black slot. But I think what I was supposed to do is change a common slot of a color I'm not using, right, like green or red, to a color I am. But now I'm also not really playing black anymore, so I've already upgraded my black slot to uncommon, and I'm already kind of off black at this point. I mean, I'll probably splash most, if not all, of the league. But if I start opening up double black pip stuff, and I'm sure I will, might be a little tough. We're going to see. I did play in a feature match on Monday. That was super fun. I got to play against Adrian C. Car Radio. Check out that match on Richard's YouTube channel. He posted in the content updates chat where the first match, it was a super fun match. My deck was humming and doing its thing, so I love when that happens. I get to show off a little bit. But I also want to spot on the weird teamed draft thing that's going on. Me and a couple other players. More on that as we get it, because I honestly don't know a lot about it. I know we just do like a team sealed, and then we play, and winners get prizes. But I love playing team events. It's something I like doing a lot, and super, thrilled that I get to be in one. So really cool that it happened. But no, 5-0 on the week. Recovered from my disastrous 2-3 week Lotta. Lotta made fun of me for saying 2-3 was so bad. Well, if you go 5-0 the week after, it don't feel too bad. But we can't, continue without, of course, a little something from Kevin Iconi, 1993. This was sent to me from Kevin just today.
Week 3, Fantasy League on fire. And baby, I ain't just talking stats tonight. Got my Buster Sword strapped, full needed deep. Tifa's calling out moves I ain't learned in sleep. Air is sweet, but she freaks in the night. Casting cure while she rides me right. Steals long and her grip's just tight. She hit that limit, I lost all fight. Phoenix down, don't need that aid. I respawn hard, fully unswayed. Limit break these cheeks, yeah, she's casting fast. Final Fantasy freak with a spell that lasts. No save point to straight up sin. She summoned me raw, let the boss fight begin. Sephiroth slick, but I swing with edge. She screamed like a chocobo on the ledge. Golden saucer sweet, sheets torn to shreds. Materia flying, we losing our heads. Tifa's fist up top, yeah, strength and size. But it's that limit combo between her thighs. No countdown here, no need to prep. She hit me with that haste, now I'm out of breath. Limit break these cheeks, yeah, full ATV. She said, I choose you, now it's all on me. No MP left, but I still cast twice. She moaned Genova, ooh, that's nice. Lo-fi dreams turn hard rock nights. She bent like clouds, moral rights. Fantasy League, not this real life sin. I ride that chocobo till the feathers thin. Limit break these cheeks like a summon flame. She said, you the boss, now play the game. No cool down, no turn to pass. Just a buster sword and a legendary ass.
Thanks again, Kevin. I love it. I love these songs. Kevin even just posted a random one for somebody in the chat. I'm going to throw that at the end of the show. I got to. And tomorrow I leave for AGL Con, so it's been a very busy week for me getting ready to go to Canada. I'm driving up. It's a big old long drive, doing it all myself. Very excited. But, I'm actually taking a break from packing and stuff to record the podcast today. But excited for that. We're going to see how that is, meet a bunch of people from the Discord. So we had a great time last year. I'm sure it'll be just like the best thing in the world. It's going to be amazing. Really, really excited for that. But also excited for my guest this week, right? Like, I got to have on a winner. big winner from Homeroom 1B, Emmett F. Sepulcher, comes on the show. Join me as we ride a chocobo together. That's right. I talked to Emmett this week. That's how this league was in Playground. 2 split top 8s, right? And the way the top 8 worked out, my draft. Quickly, I'll talk about my mega draft. Where my mega draft was fine. I didn't really open anything crazy. I think the best stuff in my pool was passed to me. Nick S. Najisi right next to me was in the same colors. So I definitely was getting split up, but never really saw too much crazy going on. So I didn't love my deck. Won the first round. Had a close games in round 2, but lost. You can check out again the stuff on Richard's YouTube channel. And then the games have been kind of staggered for 1A because people are all over the world, as you know. But 1B finished up pretty quick. Emmett won 1B. Then it was DeWitt K, Seething Octopus, in 1A, who won the 1A. Side. Then they played together, and DeWitt K. Seething Octopus won that. We're going to get DeWitt on here in a few weeks, but Emmett's coming on this week. Then we got AGL Con, so it's going to be a little bit of time before we can get to DeWitt, but your time will come. But Emmett locked up 1B. Emmett's done 8 Mega Drafts so far, and this was his first one that he was able to take home. You can follow his Mega Draft on the YouTube channels. So much good coverage, right, in the league. So many good content updates, and a lot of good league coverage from a lot of really cool things happening right now. Go out there and check them out. But listen to my interview with Emmett now. Okay, everyone, join me this week as we ride a chocobo together with none other than Emmett F. Sepulcher. Welcome to the show, Emmett.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, thank you for coming on. You get the big win in Homeroom 1B after 8 tries in Mega Draft. How does that feel?
It feels great. Really enjoyed my deck. It's a really fun era of Magic to go back to for me.
I loved the packs that were chosen for Playground League, right? Great packs. The Mega Draft is just a who's who of bangers besides Dominaria. Besides that, oh man, so many great packs.
Yeah, absolutely. And my Mega Draft deck ended up being fairly similar to my League deck, so that was also fun.
That's great. Did you open any of the same rares? That's so fun when you open a bomb rare you had in your League deck in the Mega Draft, and you're like, I remember you. You're back for one more ride?
Yeah, no bomb rares, but some nice efficient commons and uncommons joined up with me.
That's what it's all about. Those commons and uncommons, they build the deck so you can get to those big rares.
Yeah.
But let's go back a little bit before the Mega Draft. Let's just talk Playground League from the start. Did you enjoy the trading? Did you play in the stip matches? How did all of that work for you?
Yeah, I love the trading. I was a big fan of trying it out in something like this. There were more impacts than I anticipated on some of the matchmaking, and week 3, all of a sudden it was just no longer available basically at all.
Yeah.
But it was really fun, and it actually enabled, I think I did one of the biggest pivots. I opened a very good pool to start with. It had Elspeth, who got me there in SNC League back in the day.
Yeah.
And Liliana of the Veil, who I was excited about. Really great week 1. But I didn't feel like the black and the white halves of my deck were really on the same game plan. They didn't go very cohesive. And so I traded away Liliana to get Sparring Regimen, which ended up being incredible.
So good. Card's great.
And I traded away my Dreadhound to great effect as well. So I got to pitch off all this great black and fully switch colors into being blue-white. And really enjoyed getting to play that. So I got to really kind of customize my experience with the league in that way.
It is really cool how you were able to you got these strong rares and colors you're not playing, or strong rares and things you want to get out of. You can make the choices to get out of that thing and do that thing, right? I opened a Planeswalker at one point, and those Planeswalkers, they sold for a high dollar value. I mean, oh yeah, yeah. You open up some good rares, good bombs. You got to make some good deals, which was just really. It was fun to shop around. It was fun.
Yeah, absolutely. On the stip matches, I was excited about them. Although we did see that they also had a decent matchmaking impact. A bit unfortunate perhaps, but I only participated in the week 1 stip match. Didn't go my way. I really wanted to try it, but I don't think my deck benefited really at all from the extra fixing. And I really wanted to do Brawl, but just couldn't get there. I tried a little bit to trade for a card that would be decent and a Brawl commander. I tried for a while to get like a Harbin. I know Lotte scooped up some of those, like Sten. There was a couple good blue-white commander, like just cheap, efficient cards that can also be good commanders. Because I had one good commander I could run, but never quite got there. And also with wanting to get trades with certain people, the matches just, I didn't have any left to go ahead and try the Brawl.
There was a weird push-pull of like when to use your stars and when to play your matches and like trying to set up games, because you want to make the deals, but like you only got so many stars. You can't just go in the bot the whole time. Like it's not going to work out.
Yeah. I mean, I will say I was very pleasantly surprised. I did wait early on. I didn't do any trades out the gate. I played a couple games, got there kind of on card quality, figured out what the deck wanted and what my first kind of pack gave me. And then after my first pack is when I made all these big moves. But it lined up very well. Like I did a Silver Star trade with, like I got great Silver Star trades with basically everyone I played, even before I was specifically looking for them. So it worked out for me, at least. I enjoyed that part of it.
Yeah, I did the same thing where I actually went in the bot for my first few matches and ended up being able to go back to those people later and make some trades. So it did work out. Although for a minute there, I was like, we weren't able to make trades right away. So there's that like week or two where I'm like, am I going to be able to make this work or make this happen? Like I can't leave stars on the table, right? Like that's going to feel bad.
Absolutely.
But you did the trading. You avoided the steps. But you made Playground League your own, and it got you all the way to the Mega Draft. Your eighth time's the charm, you said to me as soon as I messaged it on. I've been saying that a lot, but I want to quote that's an Emmett quote. I'm stealing it. But what was different about this Mega Draft? Like what made you take it home this time?
Yeah, so I do think in the past there were some Mega Drafts I felt I navigated really well, and the games just didn't go my way. There are others I think I did less good, but I tried to really think through and come up with a couple of takeaways for anyone else looking in, for my perspective on Mega Drafting. And again, 1-8, maybe not the best record, but perfectly average, I would say. I think, and I will also caveat in thinking through all of this was a fully no play booster Mega Draft, which I think has a bit of an impact in terms of what types of stuff you're seeing, card quality, things like that. But one thing that really stood out to me, and then also getting to see DeWitt's deck, which looked nothing like mine.
We'll get there.
Yeah, but I think a piece of advice that I really latched onto for drafting that I don't hear get repeated very often is if you see two similarly strong cards, and one's a 2-drop and one's a 5-drop, you should heavily consider taking the cheaper card. Those early plays are so critical. And I don't think every card that made my 60 card deck was, even a C maybe, if we're going off like card grading. But all the 2-drops, I think, were quality. And I think that just really helps if you're getting a little stuck on lands. Like, there's also the concept of you want to have the widest range of games where your deck can perform well, which means if you're only getting a couple lands, making sure you can still play, impact the board, you've got some little tricks, maybe early card draw or just creatures that can contest the board for you. And then late game, you have a couple mana sinks. So if you're flooding, you're not just, land go while your opponent can keep putting on pressure.
Yeah.
And that latter area, I think, is where DeWitt's deck really shined. But yeah, just going back to my draft, I did more minimal prep this time. In the past, I've done really extensive prep, and it's never really seemed to help that much. I think maybe, I've done full practice mega drafts and things, and I think that can just get maybe a game plan in your head that doesn't leave you as reactive to what you're actually seeing in the pod, what's being opened and what's being passed to you. And what I did do, though, is I looked through all of these at the general colors, and I identified that white looked like it's, in some of these sets, it's clearly the best color, but it's always a very solid color, deep at common across basically all 6 of these packs. And also because they're chaos, as most mega drafts are, you're not going to get as much interset synergy. You can, maybe identify a couple themes, but you're really looking for like code quality and depth at common. So I went in saying, I'm pretty sure I want to be white. Like if there's, again, if there's maybe two similarly powerful cards you're looking at, I would skew towards, in this case, I skewed towards the white one. And I kept my second color open. I picked up a lot of black cards, picked up a lot of blue cards, debated a pivot to green that I didn't go for, and then got offered a Ren late in the draft. But ultimately that, I think goes to the question about how late do you stay open? And I think through the first 3 packs, I really try and just have like one definite color that's standing out to me, but keep my options open on the others. Like speculate on a good card, or if there's nothing, kind of above replacement rate in a pack, I would take any sort of fixing or anything else I could. I also really had to hustle for removal. I think kind of those staples of limited gameplay, removals, evasion, the old BREAD acronym, I think has fallen a little out of favor in the play booster era.
Sure.
But I do think it still applies for these mega drafts. I somewhat begrudgingly took some candle traps, and then they played really well for me. But some of my other removal was a little more suspect, I think. But I needed that interaction and those tricks to keep my game plan going. I think as well, in general, from all the mega drafts I've been a part of and watched and seen, it's essentially impossible to go fully aggro. Yeah. Again, the 60 card format, and especially in chaos and everything else, like, you're at the very least probably not going to have the consistency to get there 3 matches in a row. And on the flip side, I think it's very hard to go full control. So most decks are some flavor of mid-range, but what I've noticed is I think the slightly faster or more proactive mid-range decks tend to be a little more favored across the various mega draft formats I've seen. You might catch your opponent stumbling on mana or colors or things like that. And in general, I think that's what I've seen worked out. And it is what I felt in this matchup. I was able to get on the board a little earlier, get some flyers going, get some tricks. If my opponent spends their whole turn playing a creature, and then I can, spend a mana to candle trap it and just keep flying over the top while we're racing, that's great.
Yeah. And it worked out great for you. We got to follow the mega draft. You were the featured mega drafter, which is always really cool when they win, because we can follow your every match from draft to finals. So if you want to see that draft where Emmett does open up that Ren in like pick 5, I'm not going to tell you. Does he take it or not? I'm not going to tell you, but you can find out. Go and watch the draft video. I mean, the games, it seems like they went great. I didn't get to catch all of them. I was doing the 1A mega draft. But you take it down in the finals. How does it feel? And obviously, what were some standout cards from the deck?
Yeah. So Rooftop Nuisance, one of my faves from SNC.
Oh, yeah.
Played incredible every time I got to see it. As I mentioned, the candle traps really impressed me. A lot of my games came down to racing a bit back and forth, which is a position I love to be in. There was a question about my favorite moment from the games, and it was definitely in game 2 of the first round. My opponent had been pressuring me with Lagomos tokens all game. One thing I kind of realized is not a lot of my creatures have more than 3 toughness. So I was like, well, I guess I'm just racing. I'm not drawing the removal to take this Lagomos out, but I'm putting more pressure on them than I think they're putting on me. But then as we were coming up, life totals were getting low, they landed a Morbid Opportunist. So that's a card every turn just off those tokens. So I had to decide, and I got one of the 4-mana clones, and I'd cloned one of my flyers, I believe. And I was like, I do a bounce spell. So I was like, okay, I could use this to bounce the Morbid and deny 1 trigger at some point, make them replay it. I could use this to bounce my clone and copy their Morbid. So now we're both drawing and we try and slow the game back down again. Or I can push for lethal. And what I ended up using this for is I got to use it to reset my 2/1 flying soldier that picks something up when it ETBs.
Oh, yeah.
And if that thing was a soldier, it gets a 1/1 counter. So I used that, and I got to surprise have an extra 3/2 flyer in the air on their last turn of the game. I was able to blink it and then swing back in the air to kill them on the final turn of the game. That was also in my league deck, and he was one of my faves in there as well.
Yeah.
Um,
What a play. What a game, right? Go in and check out that game if you haven't seen it. Check out that lineup play. Again, all these are VOD content updates. You can go check out all of Emmett's glorious rise as he took down the Mega Draft in 1B. But we got to talk a little bit about Final Fantasy League. We are, of course, in Final Fantasy League, and I'm getting you on the show, Emmett. You're a great player. You're doing great. You're doing great on the week, on the whole league, actually. So I'd like to know what's your strategy for the Final Fantasy level up system? What do you think you're going to be doing here?
Yeah, thank you. I've been very fortunate with the pool here as well, but I've spent a lot of time building.
Sure.
I've had different core colors at several different points. I think it's changed with every pack. I've been testing a ton because I have some cards I really want to splash, but I want to maintain that consistency. So I started out thinking I'm just going to rush up to those Dragonstorm rares. I think, I've already got really great rares across at least 3 colors. I kind of have 4 colors I'm kind of interested in. So I think I want to lean towards the fixing, those devotees. And my first pack with those TDM commons actually got me the Sagu something, the 4/4 reach.
Yeah.
Comes back from the yard to give out counters and reach to something else, which I've only gotten to play it once, but it's felt incredible because there's a lot of flyers going around in this Final Fantasy, especially when there's like equipment that can give out flying.
Yeah.
Just having a solidly statted reach creature, which doesn't really exist in Final Fantasy.
No,
kind of reverses the long-standing trend of stapling reach to every green rare and mythic just because. In any case, I've been happy with that so far, although I've been very impressed with what some people have gotten off of, racking up a lot of commons, or I can see the argument for getting a second uncommon slot sooner. So I went ahead, I got my TDM commons.
Nice.
Then I swapped my Final Fantasy white common slot to black and then upgraded it to uncommon because I felt that black is one of my strong colors and has the highest consistency of uncommon power level of the colors I was interested in. And now my deck is base green-red, but I'm still splashing to black.
I did the same thing. I upgraded my black to uncommon. I was like, here we go. I'm going to be black this whole time. My next pack, immediately cut up my black by like 2 cards.
Yeah. But I do think green-black will hopefully be, a good place to return to. But yeah, I've played like green-black base, splash and blue. I've played green-blue base. I've played blue-black base. And now I'm on a red-green base. So, thankfully I'm getting a lot of fun, exciting cards, and getting to play with them. Xenos has got to be my favorite though. Just sweeping a whole board of little hero tokens away.
That does sound fun, doesn't it? Those tokens. I open a TDM comment. It's the 5-mana 3/3 that enters ETB. You get to bounce something. Mm-hmm. But I'm playing that card with all these dumb tokens around. Like,
absolutely, that's way better in this set.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I didn't play that card once in Tokyo Dragon Store, but right now, week 2 Final Fantasy League, that's making the deck.
Absolutely.
Emmett, you've been in the league a long time. You've had your 8 mega drafts. You finally get your mega draft win. You must have some kind of idea of what emote or sound clip you're going to be adding to the server, right? You got to have something.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to figure out. It's a big occasion.
Daunting.
Miranda has her brand of being the Watcher.
Yep.
So that was a shoe-in. But I'm trying to figure out what is most suitable. I mean, the other thing is, I feel like some of these existing emotes and things have become such staples and cover kind of the common emotions or other things you might want to react to in the server. So it's hard to think of like what is something that would get used that we like isn't currently doesn't currently have something covering it. So I'm still deciding, still in the market, trying to figure it out.
Still in the market. He's still shopping around, doing a little window shopping. It's a tough thing because you only get one shot at it, right? And at least until you get another one. But you want to be remembered and you want people to use it. So like, how do you get that Evan C. R.I.P. thing. You want something that gets a lot of use.
Absolutely.
But you got to use it. I mean, I'm such a stickler for people
Yes.
not claiming it. I'm gonna ask the league committee, give me a full list, or at least tell me how many haven't been claimed, because there's got to be like 10 to 20 or something.
Absolutely. No, I'll definitely use it. I'm always one to, I made sure to use all my trades. Spending my time, and one last just thought on the last league. While I didn't do more of the stips, I did practice many of the stips just for fun. So I enjoyed getting to do that, even though only played the one in a league.
Yeah, I got to play the first two. The third one, I wasn't going to be good for my deck, and I wanted to win. So and also like I had one learn card, and I already had good lessons. I didn't need the bonus chance that I draw the one learn card and need the one extra lesson that I could only get from the small percentages,
I would have loved having a 2/1 flyer lesson if I get my sparring regimen without any creatures. I could grab an evasive creature for it. Ooh. But I just, with the way the trade, it was more important to get the trade with my 5th game than play a risky brawl match with only okay commanders.
And maybe you'll open that in your Strixhaven pack or something. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're ready for our questions of the league. Are you ready, Emmett?
I am.
Our first question from Miranda L. Black Canary, the Great Watcher. What were you jamming to in between games?
Yeah, so I was, trying to stay relaxed, not get too stressed. I would do a little walk a lap of our apartment floor in between games. And I was listening to a lot of music from Arcane seasons 1 and 2.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, somewhat incidentally, I just had stuff on shuffle, and that's sort of the cue it was taking me along. So
that sounds wonderful. Who doesn't love some of that?
Yeah.
And follow up to Miranda, what was your favorite card in the winning deck?
Ooh. Yeah, let's see. It is hard. Oh, in my league deck or in my draft deck?
It just says the winning deck. So give me
yeah. So I guess what I'll say for my league deck is the one that most impressed me, and I was always happy to see, because obviously, sparring regimen played amazing. Elspeth honestly only played okay. A lot of times I was forced to play her out into a position that was already not great for me. And at least early on, I didn't have a lot of hits if I went down with her. I do love how the card is designed, but just with how many options you have going up of do you take the flying first or the vigilance first or the life? What do you need to, either stay aggressive or keep her defended? But my 2-mana 1/3 where I could just pay for it and draw a card, consistently impressed throughout the whole league. I kind of put it in thinking probably good to have, but that felt like it really defined a lot of matchups in my league deck. And then for the draft deck, I do think I am going to have to give it to Rooftop Nuisance. Just one of my favorite cards. Always fun. Feels so good to stay ahead on board in the race and draw 2 cards.
Yeah. It does is tap it down, and I'll draw. Okay, what are you going to do about it? Our next question from Nick A. Neestar. Let's say I want to win a mega draft, but I don't want to have to make top 8 times to do it. What's a shortcut for success? How long do you stay open, etc.?
Yeah, so I did touch on some of this a little bit earlier as we were discussing the draft in more detail, but I think, as reiterating my top couple thoughts, emphasize your 2-drops and in general, lower mana cards. And DeWitt's deck as well had a lot of 1-drops, which is a big problem for me, but they all played really well in their deck. And removal, a lot of times you'll be looking for, everyone's looking out for it. Kind of anything you can take is probably worth running.
Yeah.
I would definitely speculate on sideboard cards. I picked up a Disenchant relatively early, and fixing, even if it's not in colors you're currently in, over just sort of, again, kind of a replacement rate type of common. And yeah, I think my theory on how to stay open is, pick a main color that you can really focus in, and then leave your options open to see what you're opening and maybe what's being left open, at least until about halfway through the draft.
Yeah, why not? Stay open. You never know what's going to happen. You never know when you're going to open that Ren, right? Because, man, you want to play that card.
Oh, yeah. And because it is pod play, you don't want it played against you.
No, you do not. That's the thing. You don't want to see that on the other side. There's no
Because
planeswalker removal.
the other, I guess my last thought on the mega draft is, while there is, some difference in whether you go, 1-2 or 2-1 as far as the monetary pricing, at the end of the day, if you care about winning, you should maybe try and take a bigger swing with your deck, right? Like you want the deck that can go all the way. It can beat whatever the other strongest deck is that's out there. And it is a small sample size. I've had drafts where I felt like my deck was great. Other people were like, "Oh yeah, that looks so good," and it just doesn't draw well, doesn't get there.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you can make a deck that can handle a wide range of how many lands you're drawing, generally be consistent. But at the end of the day, you do need some level of power to overcome whoever's in the seat that's opening all the best cards or something like that at the table. So
don't skimp on the removal. Stay open and get those 2-drops. They're very important. Our next question from Johnny M. Johnny, what was the toughest decision or play of the Mega Draft?
Yeah, sorry, I'd kind of mentioned some of these earlier as we were discussing, but yeah, I do think it was staring down Lagomos and Morbid and knowing my opponent's racking up a lot of card advantage, and I had a lot of choices. I really enjoyed that bounce spell I had because it could bounce my stuff or their stuff, and I had a couple different bounce spells, but this one was any non-land, any player.
Nice.
So yeah, it really left a lot of options open. And one thing I like to think I'm good at, I think I'm a little less focused on card advantage, just pure card advantage to the extent that I think a lot of the top players on the server are. But I do think I'm very good at telling, is the game close to ending? Because I love to win the game when my opponent still has a handful of cards. And if I can, see a reasonable line or, and I mean, sometimes this is taking a risk, right? If my opponent has a handful of cards and I don't have any way to catch up on that, I probably need to look for any chance I have to close out the game before they can start playing all those cards.
Yeah.
And if I can force them into, using things inefficiently because they need to be defensive, or in this case, we were both kind of top decking, but then all of a sudden now they're going to be getting 2 cards a turn. So, what can I do to either end the game before that matters, or do I need to find some other way to compete on the game slowing back down, and I need to figure out, can my deck still win if we go that route?
Yeah. Oh, super interesting. I can't wait to watch this game now.
Yeah.
Evan C. Piece of Crab, he'd love to hear a story of a great gift you received.
Yeah, I thought this was a lovely question.
Yeah, good one.
So one thing that came to mind is for Christmas last year, Miranda got me a dumpling kit. And I enjoy cooking specific recipes. I have a little bit of a harder time with just kind of day to day make something straightforward, but I do enjoy trying new things. We're big into food and, doing a food tour and traveling or things like that. But yeah, we'd had some really great soup dumplings and, had been talking about those, I think, leading up to Christmas. And then, yeah, so we got this kit, and as you might imagine, it is challenging, hand wrapping dumplings with little to no experience. And one of the other big things we ran into, so in making these, the goal is to have a dumpling with some filling and then the soup. And the way they actually get that in there, or at least the way we did with this kit, and I assume is how it would normally be done, is they actually make the soup and then gelatinize it into little cubes. So you cool it and then chop these cubes up, and then you have a slightly easier to work with thing that you can stuff and wrap and everything.
Very cool.
And then when you steam them, that turns back into the soup. We did not cut those cubes small enough. So it was like trying to stuff the round ball of filling with these way too big cubes. But we still had a good time. They were delicious. And it was really fun to try and learn about.
Yeah. Who doesn't love soup dumplings? Oh my gosh. It sounds wonderful.
Project.
Lata would love to know, if you had to give one MTG card as a wedding favor for all your guests, what would it be? what if it had to be a card from one of the playground sets?
Yeah. So if it was from the playground set, I would probably go with Elspeth Splendent.
Nice.
A star of my deck led me into white, and in the SNC League in the past as well. Very sort of celebratory type of visual and card and everything, I think. And just as I mentioned, I really love the design of it. Like the choice in, you can go down, which is a little bit of a gamble. You might not hit any creatures. You can still get a land with a shield cutter on it, which is kind of neat, I guess. But does it help defend her? She's now at 2 loyalty, and so like she doesn't inherently defend herself like some planeswalkers. I think there's a bit of criticism around some planeswalkers where the kind of go-to design for a number of years was make a little token chump blocker, and now it's really hard to take them out with combat.
Yeah.
But her up can be a little defensive. You can get vigilance if you have a creature that can swing and also defend her. You can get flying if you want to be evasive or potentially defend her from a flying blocker. You can get first strike again, could make it very hard to swing at her, but it depends on the board you already have.
Yeah.
And lifelink, which again, maybe that's I don't actually care about her. I just need to stabilize in this race against someone else. I'm going to defend her by making it so my opponent can't afford to swing at her.
Yeah, right. Or like she's going to eat up so much damage, you're gaining even more life,
Yeah, absolutely. But aside from that, there are the classics. There is a wedding ring card.
Yeah.
Maybe a soul ring. So many versions of that, of course. But a little fun tidbit. Miranda and I are planning on getting married in a castle.
Ooh.
And we're looking, there's actually a Fitzgerald family castle in Ireland called Glyn Castle that we're specifically looking at.
Oh.
And so perhaps we could do the Eldraine cycle of castle lands.
Very cool.
And then everyone can have there's the different colors and everything.
I love that. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Watch out for this castle, everybody. Sounds amazing. Preston B. Vorbis would love to know, do you actually do all the humps in the 2Ms when signing your name?
I do. It's very fun. Yep. Just and I like my name. I like the repetition, the letters and everything.
Yeah, it's good. Double E, double M, double T,
Because there are a lot of different ways, to spell Emmett. There's the footballer Emmett Smith. With IT, you can do ITT. You just do one T in the E. So yeah, a lot of different variants. I've only ever met a couple other Emmets, and I think they were all spelled slightly differently.
I always double check before I say your name, type your name anywhere, just to make sure I'm getting it right. Because I'm like,
yes,
I know it's special.
Mm-hmm. And Miranda's in the same boat, being MA.
Oh yeah, 2 M's, 2 A's.
So, rather in the spelling being, notable.
Yes.
As opposed to the more common MI.
Look at that, you guys and your fun names. JOHN John, just normal over here. Richard K. Preacher would love to know, what was your celebratory meal afterwards?
Yeah, so at the time, Miranda was also in the other homeroom's Mega Draft. So we just had a kind of quick dinner we could eat while playing. But tonight we are planning on going to Written by the Seasons, which is a well-regarded restaurant here in Dallas that just opened a new location right across from our apartment. Right. We live near an area that just got, it used to have a bunch of restaurants and things, and then they were redeveloping it. And then they were redeveloping it right as COVID hits, and there was all these delays. But now, finally, all these new restaurants are opening up right across the way. So we're checking this one out.
Awesome. I hope it's great. Congrats to both of you. I mean, she made the Mega Draft too. You got the win. You both get to celebrate a little bit, right? It'll be nice.
Thank you.
Eric S. Smitty, not Smite. Congrats on the win, Emmett. What line of play are you most proud of?
Yeah, I think it is in that game, choosing to race the Morbid Opportunist instead of trying to keep up on value or slow back down the game. I also had a couple other fun things. I had one where I got to... I take it back. This was in so I did practice for the grand finals.
Yes.
And I only did okay in the practice. Didn't do so hot in the actual grand finals. But one line in that practice was bouncing a Phyrexian Metamorph clone of the Brutal Cathar to get back my flyer that can pick something up to pick something else up. So just a nice little like cascading sequence. The in general, I think it's a very, I'm blanking on the exact name of the card, but the 2/1 flash flyer that picks something up and it can get a counter if it's a soldier. Just has a lot of fun options, right? Like I could, let's say I have that another 2-drop on turn 2. I can say, well, I don't want this to get removed, or I want to save it for value, because if my opponent's going to kill my creature, I can pick it up, or I can maybe deny lifelink by picking up a creature. Or I could maybe just get an extra counter on this flyer, which is pretty great if I can get a soldier down first. On the other hand, it may be good to play a flyer because I'll probably be able to start swinging right away. And there's a chance if my opponent is holding up 2 mana on turn 2, and they were just holding up some, removal spell, I can make them waste it by passing turn and playing my 2-drop on their turn. So I think it just creates a lot of choices at all different stages of the game, and in general, it was very fun in both my league deck and my draft deck.
Zephyr Sentinel, that thing is fantastic. And our last question, I don't know if you saw this one, because this got added on late. Adam S. Wisma's got a lightning round for you. 5 questions, yes or no only, no elaboration. Okay?
Right.
Universes Beyond, yes or no?
No.
Commander bracket system.
Yes.
I don't even know what that means. Double-sized finals in league. The no elaboration is so tough on it.
Yeah, I keep wanting to say this is the question that's hardest not to elaborate on. Yes.
Yes. Final Fantasy bonus sheet.
No.
Chocobo Racetrack.
Yes.
I'll give you a chance. If you want to elaborate on it, we got about 2 minutes left for this thing ends. So if you want to elaborate on specifically the double-sized finals, since that, you were in the double finals, if there's anything you want to say about that, I mean, we got the airtime.
Sure. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah. So, going in, I was very excited, and I was not bothered by the idea of there being, 2 winners in a single league. So, I don't know. Going in, I thought totally fine, happy with all of this. And, I certainly appreciated that. I think my favorite part ultimately of this league was I didn't spend hardly any time try-harding, matchmaking or thing. I mean, there was the trading element, which involved some matchmaking consideration. But in previous leagues, I felt like I really had to hustle, do a lot of practice and all of this other stuff to try and give myself a better chance to get to a top 8.
Yeah.
Which there are times where I just don't feel like doing that, and I do middling, and that's fine. But there was definitely a period where if I put the extra effort in, I could really up my chances, and if I didn't, maybe it would still get there. But in this league, because the stakes were lowered, the size of the league was lowered, and there was more spots available, and admittedly, I had a great deck. But I just got to go out into the bot, play people when I was free, really got to enjoy all of that. And so, and the set was, nice throwback to a different era of boosters. So I really enjoyed that it took the pressure off. And that's my sort of advocacy for expanding the top 8 in some manner, right? And I think there's a lot of interesting points around what to call it and how to view it in single league versus split league in all sorts of different ways. And that's been, discussed at great length. As far as the actual finals, though, I lost 3-0 to DeWitt.
Cross-pod play. That cross-pod play.
I heard he got his meat hook 4th pick or something. So
oh,
that
really?
Was really bad. Yeah.
Geez, what happened in our pod, guys? Who's not first picking meat hook?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, and to zoom out of just specifics of our match, obviously I lost and doesn't feel great, but it does seem like there's a little bit to figure out with having 2 mega drafts. Coverage could potentially be overlapping, as it was the case here, or it could be split over multiple days. Given that weekends tend to be the best, I could foresee a situation where one is one weekend, the other is the following weekend. Big gap of, anticipation, waiting to, see, if you're in the first one, who your opponent's going to be, or kind of vice versa. And then having to schedule that grand finals, which could take place as soon as right after the first mega draft, which is what we were initially considering. Or then we ended up moving it. And just some other minor logistics. We agreed to each share our deck lists because I'd gotten to see them play through their mega draft. And he didn't get to see me play. So yeah, I think I would be interested to maybe see an experiment of maybe a different format for the grand finals, other than just reusing the same draft decks. But maybe it's fine. But
it's hard to say, right? Because it's like having two winners is fine, right? Like
that's my perspective. But
because the whole one winner was kind of added on there at the end. Near the end of the league, it wasn't in the original rules, and it is it's weird. But I get both sides, right? Like I get you can't have two people win a league. I get that, but you also can't. It's a huge league. We have two leagues. There can be two winners.
Yeah. I guess on that it did. It made it a little less exciting. 2 or so years in the league, I've always been chasing that league win a mega draft, and now, well, I guess I'm not the first person to win a mega draft and not win the league, because you could also not be there on points. But now that's changed too. But in any case, I'm certainly appreciative of the league, trying out this, at least an expanded playoffs. For better or worse, I've racked up a lot of top eights, and so now it's harder to be, motivated by, say getting top 32 instead of top 64. I kind of mostly care about, do I top 8 or have a chance to, make a deep run or not?
Yeah.
And I still enjoy the games and the community, but, as far as the achievement, that's always kind of been the mark. And it feels like the most interesting thing to me was when I was running the numbers on what win rate, and obviously your win rate's going to vary league to league, even as the same player, you'll have different pools and other, everything else. But in growing the league from 100 to 200 people, it went from where someone with I think my league lifetime win rate is, 53, 54%, something like that, which gets you to 2010, something like a third of the time, I think. I don't remember exactly all the parameters I used.
Yeah.
But then now that if it's always 100-person leagues, but then when I did the math for a 200-person league, you needed to have a 60% win rate or something to
insane
get that same sort of chances of top 8ing, which Jimtron can do, but the rest of us. So yeah, I definitely appreciate, and I do think this league as a whole was very good for testing a lot of these ideas that we've had. A lot of discussion around all sorts of things, but I think it's really good to see them in action. Definitely a lot of things worked out differently or had additional nuance beyond what I anticipated. The matchmaking impacts of trading and of stips, and just a variety of different elements. So yeah, I don't know. I also don't know how much the best of 5 made the finale more epic than any other match. But also, I don't know. It kept me in the hope for a bit longer. As I mentioned, we'd shared deck lists, so I got to practice against their deck, and I went cool. I think 2-3 or 2-4 in practice. So it wasn't the best odds, but I had a couple games where I could, resolve some flyers, push through in the air. But in games 2 and 3, they got through 20 more cards of their deck than I did.
My gosh,
which felt pretty hopeless.
I missed most of DeWitt's deck and draft, but I have heard that his deck was just arms and above just everyone else's in the pod.
He managed to really push the mana. He got I think 6 or 7 duels, but then he had an Elsewhere Flask that meant that he was able to cast the quad black Invoke in the same deck as a splashed blue-red draw spell. But at the end of the day, what really he heavily prioritized card draw, but the the really key thing I felt was his low drops let him stall the board and dig through his deck with, be it the zombie that taps to surveil, the guy that lets him sack his little tokens and other things to draw, which in one game I think drew him a dozen cards or something.
Yeah.
And the fact that some of his biggest offensive threats were the Ludovics, which come down as a 2-mana 2/3. Almost nothing can get through that, certainly in that era of boosters. And then it eventually becomes like a 7/7 flyer.
Yeah, huge.
Because he did not have a lot of large creatures. He did not have a lot of removal, and he did not have a lot of flyers. It seemed that he do it against me, but in total, I think his deck had something like 3 flyers and 4 removal spells or something like that. So I definitely felt that I had a chance to maybe get there in that regard. But he was just very efficient at getting to his deck to see all of the really great cards that he was able to draft and then fit into his deck.
If you're able to cast Meathook Massacre, kind of any amount in a Mega Draft, you're gonna be doing all right. Right.
Yep. Yeah, and honestly, he didn't even need it. I think the one time he did it against me, it was a little, gratuitous, perhaps. To just, I think he had 7 creatures on board and killed them all to drain me out for 7. Right. He was up 7 creatures on board, so you're doing all right at that point.
You may not be able to say, "Hey, Emmett won the league," but Emmett won. You won the Mega Draft.
I'm very happy with my league deck and how I played it, and the trading and everything to get it to where it was, and happy with the draft and the deck, even though a little bit of I don't know, couldn't fully celebrate at the time because the grand finals was coming, and then they kind of underwhelmed. But looking back, I can be more positive on it.
Yeah, and again, you got that emote coming, you got that sound option coming, you get your Player of the Year invite, and you can say, I've won a Mega Draft.
Yeah.
Well, all right, Emmett, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show and sitting down and talking to me for a while. Always love talking to you. You come on a lot. You're one of the great guests, so thank you so much. And congrats! So happy for you to finally get your Mega Draft win, man. Like, I know it feels good. I know to get over that hump, it's got to feel good, man.
Absolutely. And thank you again. Yeah, it's been really lovely. I've, as I mentioned, a lot of my success, I think, was early on in my 3 years on the server. I racked up a lot really quickly, and it been in a little more of a lull. I had my huge run in MH3 League, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Some of the team leagues and throwbacks, but it's been a lot of fun, and Final Fantasy off to a good start. We'll see. It's a big mountain to climb.
What are you 8-2 right now or something?
Yeah, I had a 5-0 week. My new, all that testing paid off. I think my red-green base has played really well. I've got triple of the Abrade.
Oh, nice.
Which has just been so clutch.
Oh, things great.
So.
Yeah, kill all those white aura sites with that thing, or creatures, the card's fantastic. Just if it was an instant, it'd be.
I know.
Oh my gosh. All right, Emmett. Well, I wish you luck in Final Fantasy League, and hey, maybe you got a whole nother Mega Draft in your future. You keep playing well.
Absolutely, thank you. I hope you enjoy Final Fantasy as well.
Oh, I am. You know what? I also had a 5-0 week. I'm also feeling pretty good right now. Emmett.
Congratulations! Yeah, and I've really been enjoying the draft format. I wasn't sure. I didn't love my pre-release, but it's been a fun format to draft as it's evolved.
I'm really loving the league mechanics. I think the league mechanics are so good for this one that and I love that the bonus sheet is gone. That makes me so happy.
Yes. And I love that we're trying things like that.
Yeah, but, I do too. It's cool that we keep trying to. I think a top 16 new thing. We'll see how that works out. But hey, maybe I'll see you up there in the top 16 if we both. Again, it's going to be one of the hardest things to do ever in the world with this league. But maybe we can do it, Emmett. Maybe we can do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it together, me and you. Deal. Sold.
Alrighty, I'll see you there.
Yeah, I'll see you there, and you enjoy your celebration dinner.
Thanks. Have a nice evening.
You too. Emmett's the best, right? Who doesn't love talking to Emmett? Emmett's come on the show a ton of times. He's always great to talk to. He's a great Magic player, and I couldn't be more happy for him that he got his first win, right? 8 tries, he finally gets it. That's got to feel good. I'm excited for him, and I just love seeing the people that have been in the league a long time, get that goal and do well, and finally get over whatever hump that they've been, stuck on for a while. So a big congrats to Emmett F. Sepulcher for taking home the Mega Draft and Homeroom 1B. You're a winner. What more can you say? And you're just a great guy, nice guy, great member of the community. And that's going to do it for the show this week. I got to go pack. I got things to do. I'm bringing a box of Mystery Booster 1, a box of Mystery Booster 2, a bunch of loose packs. I got like a 9-hour drive ahead of me. I'm hoping my car makes it. I'm hoping nothing bad happens. I'm hoping that it's just a really great, wonderful time with a bunch of cool AGL people up in northern Canada. I'm excited. I can't wait to bring back some kind of show about it. You know I will. But until then, I hope you get to keep a good 7. That's what this league's all about. It's Final Fantasy League. You're getting down to 2 or 3 colors. You need a good starting 7 hand. And I hope that shuffler's in your favor. Because there's a lot of bombs here. And you either got to draw them or you got to have that answer, right? If that big 8-mana Arlen comes down and you don't have that removal before that trigger hits the stack, whew, that game's over. So I wish you well. I wish you luck. And I can't wait to see you next week for Final Fantasy Week 3. Until then, I guess this is going home.
I was glowing with that white RSI. Didn't know me then, now I'm out of sight. Crystal in my hand, I don't need no light. Feeling like a mage, I just took flight. I was grinding in the dark for the shine. Now they calling like I'm summoned every time. You was sleeping while I shifted through the night. Now I'm blessed up, dripping in that white RSI. Used to be broke, now I craft with the stars. Put my pain into this gem, now it's ours. Dripped in moonlight, not designer, it's divine. Ain't no spell book, I just wrote my own lines. Came from the dungeon, scars on my soul. Running through trials, turned coal into gold. You was laughing, now you stuck in the scroll. I'm ascending while you stuck in the row. I was glowing with that white RSI. Didn't know me then, now I'm out of sight. Crystal in my hand, I don't need no light. Feeling like a mage, I just took flight. I was grinding in the dark for the shine. Now they calling like I'm summoned every time. You was sleeping while I shifted through the night. Now I'm blessed up, dripping in that white RSI. They don't get it, I was chosen by the flame. Put my sorrow in the stone, now they know my name. I ain't human no more, I'm arcane. Turning silence into power, that's my lane. Riding solo through the void like a knight. With a cloak full of dreams and a mind full of fight. Now they wanna ride the wave, they ain't right. Only came around, the shine got bright. They don't know a loss, but it's close. I done buried deep just to grow. Stones turning pressure into flow. Now I'm sacred in my element, whoa. I was glowing with that white RSI. Didn't know me then, now I'm out of sight. Crystal in my hand, I don't need no light. Feeling like a mage, I just took flight. I was grinding in the dark for the shine. Now they calling like I'm summoned every time. You were sleeping while I shifted through the night. Now I'm blessed up, dripping in that white RSI.